thank you. There's something that I want desperately.
Well, don't worry, it will come when you get over that.
I know that. And where I'm stuck is, I know that, and I keep doing it. What I want is to achieve and maintain a healthy body weight. I've yo-yo dieted since I was 7 years old. I've lost it and gained it and lost it and gained it. I've been learning from you and coming here and hearing you for 5 years now and growing in a lot of other ways and lost it again and really believed I got it. I finally got it handled.
Well, let us tell you what's going wrong.
Okay.
You want something that you're aware you don't have. And the more you focus upon how much you want it, the more you exaggerate your position relative to it.
Yes.
So it's like someone saying, I'm going to stop smoking, and when they start saying they're going to stop smoking, they smoke more than they've ever smoked before, because now they've activated something they don't want, and something that they don't want is now sort of driving them in a powerful way. So when you really, really want something that you are really, really aware you don't have right now, your attention to the subject causes you to activate the end of the stick that is already active. So we want to remind you that in all that you've been living that has caused you to want that, that desire is really clearly accentuated and poignantly known and agreed upon by source. So there is a reality that has already taken shape and form on your behalf that now you are moving toward. And the fastest way for you to get there in terms of real manifestation is to stop the struggle against the weight you don't want and try to begin making peace with the weight you've got. Now, we're not kidding you about this. It is the dissatisfaction with where I am that is the greatest hindrance for everybody in moving toward what they want, because when you're dissatisfied about something, your problem-solving nature causes you to keep taking the bull by the horns and looking right at it. Plus, it is compounded because your body wants food and your body is asking for food, and you live in a culture where it is all around, and a place like this doesn't help at all. And so what happens is, on a many times a day basis, a part of you is activated that feels inappropriate, that feels inadequate, that feels like you're in a wrong place, and that's what you've got to soothe. And the thing that makes it feel hard to you is that you think that you've got to lose the weight before you can feel soothed. And we want you to understand you've got to love yourself as you are before as you are can come into its full ownership of the image that you have fashioned.
And that's what I want to know how to do.
Well, the easy way to do it is by letting go of the struggle. By saying things like, I've been up and down and all around, and it hasn't been working. I'm going to take another approach at it. I've got to find a way of separating my action journey, which is where I am right now, from my emotional journey. We said to a woman who has arthritis in her hips, you've got pain in your hips, that just is. We said to a woman who weighed 200 pounds more than she wanted to, you weigh 200 pounds more than you want to, and that just is. And we said to both of them, it's not going to change right now this red hot minute. But you can be 200 pounds more than you want, we said to this woman, or you can have pain in your hips, we said to another woman, and feel fearful, or you can feel hopeful. And the difference between fearful and hopeful is the difference between moving in the direction of what you want. So we're wanting you to understand that your work is not an action. It's not a diet. It's not an understanding of food. It's not a changing of metabolism. It's not an increase of activity. It's not a burning of calories. It isn't any of those things that have been documented as things that can be helpful. It's like somebody says, where do I get the water? And somebody explains authentically, you turn this little knob and you hold the glass under it, and that's how you get the water. And we say, technically true, but there's a lot more to the story. And so we want to say the same thing to you. While food and exercise and diet can affect you, you know that because you've tried it all. Until you get to the vibrational heart of something, you have not found the cause. You have offered a cure to a situation, but you haven't got to anything that is lasting. And the way you begin to travel toward that which is lasting is by making peace with who you are in terms of your body. You want to start by saying, here's where I am, and it's not my ideal body weight, and it isn't who I really am, but it is where I am, and it's okay. I'm angry, and it's okay. I'm depressed, and it's okay. I want to leave my husband, and I feel terrible, and it's okay. I want somebody to come and love me, and they won't come, and it's okay. I'm all right where I am because I can get from where I am to where I want to be. But somehow, you've got to find a way of de-emphasizing the struggle in the journey. So pretend this with us. Pretend that you are going on a trip. It's a road trip in a car with a couple of other people. And one of them is really miserable to be with. The day began and you're just dreading the 15-day trip you've got planned because this person just had a blowout with her significant other and plans on spending the whole 15 days justifying her position. And you love her, and she's a dear friend, and you want her life to get better, but good grief, this is your vacation. And here you are being tortured by this. Now pretend that you're embarking upon a 15-day trip, and your traveling companion met you at the dock or wherever you're meeting, and this person is in love with life and tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and just emanating joy. And which of those journeys feels like the one you want to be involved with, you see? And the reason we're going out of our way to exaggerate this is that when you don't like you, you've got that ornery person on your trip with you, just making every thought harder and every turn harder. Everything's harder, and it does not need to be. And so you would want to say to that person who had this issue that had her all upset, let it go, at least for this 15 days. Try not to think about it, at least for these 15 days. Just try to find some space and let it go, and just let it be what it is, but try to think about other things. That's what we want to say to anybody that's got something they don't want, whether it's a tumor or a deadly diagnosis or obnoxious partner or body weight they don't want. You just got to find some way of letting it be all right, whatever it is, while you make a decision that you're going to be a pleasant traveling companion to yourself anyway. That's the very best thing that we can give to you. It's the best description that we've ever offered about just making peace with where you are. Now, there's an ulterior motive in it. There are two that we would like you to find. The first ulterior motive that you will find is, I will do this because it will lead me to the body weight I want. The ulterior motive we want you to find is, I will do this because I can feel good right now regardless of my body weight. I will feel good right now regardless of my body weight if I'm determined to do it, you see. Now, we're going to get all of you with this one. You would all be all right with who you are if you had been making your decisions based upon how they feel to you all along. But it is because you have been trying to evaluate yourself through the eyes of others. It's really an interesting thing how whoever the powers that be are choose the way you should look, and then you compare yourself with that, come short almost every time because they have airbrushes and really good lenses in their cameras. You are so hard on yourselves when you are someplace different than where you want to be. And this is what this message is all about. You must soothe yourself into emotional comfort before your desires can become manifest. You cannot hold yourself in disrespect of self and get what you want.
And that's exactly what I've been doing.
And so if somebody came up to you and said, oh, you're quite fat, you would be offended. But when you do it to yourself, you should be offended too. Because when you do it to yourself, you're holding yourself apart from the possibility of becoming that which is your major probability, you see. It's not easy to let go of this. It's not easy to stop being hard on yourself, because you learned how to be hard on yourself as you compared yourself to too many other things. But when you simply begin comparing yourself with your own heart's desire, then it's just between you and you see. So our answer to you is make peace with where you are. Now, we want to embellish that just a little bit, because we can feel a little bit of rumbling of worry in you and around the room also, that if I make peace with where I am, won't I just get fatter and fatter? In other words, won't I just be fat and happy? I've heard that expression. If your desire is to be slender, you'll never be fat and happy about being fat. But you can be fat and happy about something else, and fat and happy about something else, and fat and happy about something else, and fat and happy about something else. And in time, the happy dominates. And then you become that which you are wanting on all scores. People come to this science of deliberate creation wanting to learn how to be the creator of their own reality, and they almost every time bring the issue that has been confounding them, and that's what they want to talk about. And we say, start with something easier. Start with something that's easier to close the gap until you show yourself that you can close the gap. Pick something that you have success in, or choose something that you want success that you haven't. You sat down and you said, this has been a struggle with me since I was seven? That's a long time of beating that drum, you see. And so you're not going to stop beating it instantly. It's like asking the train that's going 150 miles an hour to stop just because you've stepped out in front of it.
Right.
It's going to mow you down. It's not going to stop. Momentum is going to continue carrying it forward for a while. And so don't be mad at yourself that your thoughts continue to carry you in the direction that they have been, but slow them down by making peace, and slow them down by using your intellect, and slow them down by introducing other things to the mix, and slow them down until you feel relief. And then smile and say, I feel better. I feel better, so I'm on my way.
I do feel better. Thank you.